All right, let's see. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. David Adam Kurz here with the Monday Kickoff call that we do every Monday at 8:30 in the morning. And there's some noise in the background. There we go. I'm checking to make sure that we're live on all channels before we get crazy and start speaking and talking and doing things. So I just want to make sure we're live on all channels. Perfect. All right. We're live. We go live on 2 different YouTube channels. So whatever YouTube channel link you got to show up to today, that'd be the link you can just follow every single time. Subscribe to that channel. So that way you not only get the notifications if you've registered to join us on Monday mornings, but you'll also get information on other things that we're posting, that we're letting people know about, that we're excited about, that we're chatting about, right? So jump in on those. Happy Monday, everybody. Kathy, thanks for joining me this morning.
You're welcome. Happy to be here.
So I want to thank you, Kathy, because we have a pretty open format with our leadership team, and what we like to do is put the link out. Whoever wants to show up. I'm going to be here every Monday anyway, but I appreciate that you do show up, that you do make an effort to come out here and pour into people, and I really do appreciate that.
Thank you. Yes, I'm super happy. I was supposed to be on last Monday. I was really looking forward to that, but unfortunately, it couldn't happen at the last minute. So I'm here today.
That's all right. You're here today. Listen, I tell you, I find so much privilege and value into pouring into people through coaching, through motivation, through education, through those types of things. So much so that I do a lot of it, obviously, for free, right? This Monday morning thing is free. I do an every other Thursday coaching for free. I do a first Tuesday of the month for free. Like, we do a lot of stuff just to pour into as many people as we want. Fitting, I'm wearing a shirt that says love today, right? So, it's an opportunity that we have,
Yes.
that we have with the knowledge that we have, to pour into people. And so I kind of want to chat about that a little bit today, because there are people watching this right now that are a part of organizations, they're a part of our companies, they maybe coach with me, maybe they just follow us, maybe whatever the case is, they're a part of our culture, if you will. Yes. And some of these folks have tremendous amounts of knowledge, right? And I read somewhere that you go through life and you obtain knowledge. And when you use that knowledge and take action on that knowledge, you succeed. And when you succeed, it is your responsibility to feed the people around you. And right. And when you first hear that, you think, okay, well, I'm successful. I got to feed the people around me. It means I got to give. No, it doesn't mean that you got to give money. It doesn't mean that you got to buy your friend a house or a car, or, what it means is that you need to pour into people so that they can find their own successes. Right?
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree. I mean, I think that's part of professional, but also personal growth. Once you reach a level that you feel that you have something to give back to anybody, no matter at what point in life, right, or what stage in your life, you're always going to have something to show. You're always going to have something that someone else hasn't been through, because they're not you. You have your own experiences, and they're unique to you. So to feel that we don't have anything to share, it's a shame if anyone feels like that, because everybody does.
Right.
It could be a word, it could be just, any experience that can really help somebody at any given time, for whatever they may be going through to do better or get out of that zone.
And generically, it could be associated to what you do for a living, right?
Correct.
See, because when you give value, the world gives you back.
Yes.
Right? When you pour into people will eventually pour into you. And believe it or not, the more successful you become, the lonelier it becomes. You feel like you pour into thousands, and you feel in your heart like you're not getting the reciprocal pour back, right? And oftentimes that feeling is a false feeling. It's a false feeling because you've reached a position that many may not have reached yet. So when you pour into people, they love the information they're receiving, and their pour back into you is accepting your information, right? And
Correct.
that's a pretty big deal. And I think a lot of people forget that. And in the business world, like most of you listening today, and we talk about kicking off this Monday on a positive note, and we kick it off, getting excited about Mondays again, right? We're gonna get hats that say "Make Monday Great Again," right?
I like that.
Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna get hats that say that.
That's a good one.
And so when you get excited about it, you come out here and okay, how can I pour into my community this week? And listen, we talk about the calls, we talk about the lead gen, we talk about all this other stuff. So now let's talk about this kind of side piece of marketing that you can do that comes from the soul, that comes from the heart, that comes from a servant leadership kind of role, right? And that position is make your calls, do your stuff, do what you need to do this week, guys, like we talk about every week, so that you can find success in your business. But now take it to another level. What can you do for the people around you? i.e., go live on social media and do something, talk about something, right? I was in Texas last week, and I just got home yesterday morning, and I spent a lot of time with a lot of different agents all throughout San Antonio. We taught 3 classes out there, and one of the biggest contenders that was a topic of conversation was that the Fed dropped the rate by 50 bips, right? And it hit me that half the room didn't know what 50 bips meant. Like BPS, nobody understood what that meant. So I explained it, basis points, right? And then I said 50 bips is 0.5%, right? And people were like, oh. And then it triggered like a conversation. And we said, well, how are you promoting this out to your community, right? How are you letting people know about this whole situation? And what we noticed was most people were just posting up the article, right? From like whatever newspaper they were looking at, the article that they just reposted that said Fed drops rate by 50 bips. And I said, if half this room
doesn't know,
do you think the plumber that follows you that's looking for a house today
know
what 50 bips is? He has no idea, right? So I said, it's time for you guys to educate yourselves and then pour into your community. Go live, make a video, do all that stuff. It doesn't have to be fancy. You can hold your phone just like this, right? And talk about what a rate drop of 50 bips in the Fed means for credit cards, for mortgages, for inflation, for everything else. And by the way, I'm not going to talk about it now. If you're listening now, this is research you got to go out and do. And maybe I'll talk about it in my next session, but this is research you got to go out and do. I don't care how you do it, by the way. Google, ChatGPT, Bing, like YouTube.
Education is huge. 100%, David. I mean, anything, and that goes really across the border for everything. If you're starting a new project, if you're starting a new relationship, if you're about to have a meeting with people that can be important in your life, do a little bit of research. I was taught that very early age, at a very early age when I worked in the corporate America industry, right? I worked in the aviation industry. It was very corporate, reporting to people, very structured, right? And that was something that we absolutely had to do. I understand as entrepreneurs, especially, people that go straight from high school into this field and it's completely entrepreneurship and they've never had that experience. Maybe there's a lot of things that they don't know, but education is a key. And I'm not talking about going and taking a course. I'm talking about just being prepared for that, whatever it is that you have to do that day, in an hour, in 2 hours, even for this call, I mentally prepare. We obviously, we don't know what you're going to talk about. This is completely spontaneous. This is not planned. So, but mentally, I already have some things that I feel like are of use. Be prepared, educate yourself. Because if you're not, how are you going to educate your clients? Also, if you're not, you may be in a room with other people that are, and that will put you at a disadvantage.
A huge disadvantage. Disadvantage. It's funny. I joined the Marine Corps when I was 19 years old, right? I was out of high school. Took me a little bit to join, hence the difference between 18 and 19. And I remember I won some award in the military, and I was invited to the officers' ball. And in order to be an officer in the military, you have to be a college graduate, right? And I remember specifically kind of walking around the room, and I had, and folks were like, "Oh, you're the Marine that won the award. Congratulations." And at the time, I think I was like a corporal, so I was very young, maybe 22, maybe 21, something like that, And I remember that I did not fit in that room. I didn't have the base knowledge to have a conversation with pretty much anybody I stood around. I would walk up to circles or stand near circles of people talking, and these Marines were talking here, and my education level was here.
Yeah.
And it triggered something in my head that made me so upset, that made me think to myself, I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to get educated. I'm going to do research. I'm going to think about things. I'm going to read books, because I never wanted to find myself in a situation where I was in a conversation that I was completely outranked on. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing because the people that I hung out with in the Marine Corps, we all spoke the same language. We all talked about the same stuff, right? And
you had choices, David. At that point, you chose to raise your bar and raise yourself to that higher level, where I would tell you, perhaps the majority of people would be like, you know what? I'm never going to go if they invite me again, because that was too uncomfortable for me. And those people are like, whatever. And I'm not going to hang out with them anymore. And I'll stay hanging out with my people. And then you would have never grown.
It's very true. And I'm now today I have a master's degree in international business. I coach, which, believe it or not, when you coach, you learn a lot, right? Because you're learning about so many different people's businesses. And so in the process, you're learning, you're dialoguing, you're investigating, you're breaking things down, you're, taking it to its root core, you're rebuilding stuff. And it's just constant learning, right? Constant learning. And then I've got great mentors and stuff like that. But let me take it back to this real quick. Here's an opportunity for everyone to take a step back and stop posting Fed raises or Fed lowers the rate by 50 bips, and actually post some real content that educates your community. Pour back into your community so that people are seeing way more than you're just listed, just so they're seeing more about your business than anybody else. You understand what that means. And not only do you understand what it means, you're willing to get on a live whatever, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you want to do, or post a reel or something that gives people an understanding of what that means and what it means for them and what it means for affordability and what it means. Should they buy a house now? Should they wait for the elections, right? Because I'm hearing a lot of that now. Which, sure. By the way, if somebody wants to wait for the elections, suck it up, Buttercup. It's 40 days away. Okay. Yeah. And by the way, here's the crazy part. No matter who gets elected, Kamala, Trump, Big Bird, Mickey Mouse, everybody still has to live in a house.
Correct.
Right. So the movement of real estate is still going to happen. Okay. We don't know the policies that are going to hit. We can't imagine this stuff. Okay. So folks, wait 40 days. And when the election happens, goes, okay, you ready now? Right. Let's get you approved and let's go hit the road. Right. And educate your community. We had a great agent who participated in one of my courses out in San Antonio. And the first thing he said was, I have a lot of clients that have bad credit, and so we talked a lot about what that meant and different directions that he could go to change the game for his business. But one of the directions we discussed was, how do you, as a real estate agent, if you choose to work with that clientele, if you choose to work with that avatar, how do you, as a real estate agent, become the master educator of pouring into people how to become more financially ready, more financially available, right? how to fix their credit worthiness. How do you partner with the right people to ensure that happens? We talked about Angel AI and
Oh my God, I was just going to say that. I was like, can I say that? I don't know if I can.
yeah, no, please,
David, I have
it's a
had
great word.
several people that I've already sent over, and it has been a really like crazy how fast their credit has bumped up. Some of the people have, that were trying to buy houses that haven't been able to buy houses for a while, and because of their credit, well, they had the income and everything else. And I mean, you're talking about huge, substantial increases working with Angel AI.
That's
And
huge.
it is huge. I recommended it to my family. I send it to all my nieces and nephews, who also, by the way, came out for the Marines. And, I don't know, but people coming out of the military, they're always, a lot of them, they're young, they overspend or whatnot. So they come out.
You've got no choice, right?
Credit's not great.
You join the military, and the first thing the military gives you is a credit card to the commissary and the PX.
Yes.
And then they don't tell you how to use it. And so what do? Go buy $800 stereo for your barracks room.
And everything that comes out, and all the games and the shoes and whatever, right? So at the end, they need it. So yes, I have passed it on to all my family because it has worked great for the people that I have recommended it to. So I definitely recommend it. I've had a great experience with it and good feedback. So
that's awesome. Yep. Yeah. So again, pouring into your community, right? Yes. Educating them on this particular subject, helping them level up and step up to the game. By the way, if you can help somebody go from bad credit, no savings, to credit, savings, house, you're saving somebody's life.
Yeah, it's huge.
Somebody develop wealth that they
and without having to pay $2,000 to $5,000, which is what it costs here for anyone to fix your credit.
Yeah, so not having to deal with any of that nonsense is pretty incredible. Yeah. But this is the challenge we're going to give out this Monday morning. Pour into your community. Pour into your community. Pour into the people around you. Pour into the people that are looking to you to learn. Pour into them whatever it is that you do for a living. Pour into them personal stuff. Pour into them whatever you have learned. I spent last week, like I said, in the great state of Texas. We had so many great classes, spoke to so many agents, lenders, reps.
Can't wait to go.
and it's been absolutely enlightening. It's been incredible. And it's been amazing to pour into people and give them something of value that they can use in their business and hopefully shift and change that business. And that's up to you guys. You guys out there listening to us today, you have an opportunity this week. Once or twice. I'm not asking you to do this every 5 minutes. Once or twice, pick a subject, go on your social media and educate your community. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Put it on YouTube. Get people to understand what's happening in your industry and how you can help them, and show them the tremendous amount of knowledge that you bring to the table. And I know some of you are thinking, I'm just not that confident. Cool. Go on Google. Learn it, read it, learn it, make notes, create 5 bullet points and say, hey, here are 5 bullet points to know about the Feds dropping the rate by 50 bips. Or here are 5 bullet points you need to know to prepare your house for sale. Or here are 5 bullet points to prepare to buy a house. Or, hey, you got bad credit. Here are 5 things you can do to level up your credit, right? And by the way, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 should be, call me and I'll put you in the right position.
Right? Absolutely.
There's so much great opportunity that there is out there. So that's a challenge for y'all listening out there right now. It's your opportunity. It is your world. This is what you do. It is your opportunity to bring the light that you have been given and share it with the world.
And I would like to add too, if you're someone like me, right? I am not great at video in myself. I can do this. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem public speaking or being in front of hundreds and performing, but I'm not good at recording myself in videos, right? For some reason. There's so many tools out there right now. We just went to the Clever Summit last weekend. There's an actual AI that looks like you, talks like you, and could do whatever commercial you want, and whatever you put into it, it is insane. I haven't been able to use it because I was out of town all of last week in the DR for business, and I haven't been able to use it. But David, I'm going to use it. So when you see videos of me in the next couple of weeks or months, yeah, it's going to be my AI.
That's awesome.
It
like
is
it's
you.
just the opportunities out there are huge and
Yes,
endless.
yes.
All right, ladies.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bounce off. We're at 20 minutes already. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this Monday morning. We're very, very blessed to have you guys give us any ounce of attention during this 20 minutes. And we only hope that it helps benefit you. Guys, join our Freedom Achiever Academy. It's freedomachieveracademy.com. Also, come see me live. Go to itsafreedomday.com. I'm going to be in Virginia, Chesapeake, Virginia, on Thursday, doing a 4-hour coaching session live and in person. It's going to be absolutely insane. October 10th, San Antonio, Texas, November 6th. Or November 9th, November 6th. I can't remember. November 6th, I'm going to be in San Diego, California. November 21st, we're bringing the New You Real Estate Conference with Tom Ferry back to you, Texas. So, guys, just tune in, see what we're doing. Very excited to have everybody join us. Thank you very much, Kathy, for being a part of today.
Have a great week.